Steve Hatcher's plan to make a difference.
I mean, I guess it was just instinct, really just the Lord, just helping me out, so the Lord just gave me the strength just to catch him.
Whether it was instinct or a higher power, Travis Shannon saved a mom, dad, and their 5-day-old baby girl.
And it was
Somebody
great
was screaming, saying fire, fire, so when I automatically ran this way,
It's all right, man.
It was a quick pit stop.
Forward, do something nice for
in
somebody
just a few
else.
minutes
Yeah,
and
do what you
finish
can
up my
to
day.
make
Minutes
it
earlier, a
for
grandmother had pulled into the drive-thru here with her 10-year-old
I'd
grandson.
like the world to be a better place.
I have to head out, but I wanted to thank Charley for coming on and speaking with us today. I also want to wish you a very safe and productive trip, and I'm hoping that we would be able to speak with you again after this trip at some point. I'd like to there are a lot of more questions that I'd like to ask, and I would just really enjoy it if we got to speak with you again at some point.
Yeah, awesome. Anytime. Thank you.
Thanks.
And
All right.
thank you, Leanne. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
And also, Charley, talking about when you got involved with the movement, how there were all these fractured elements that made up what Pay It Forward is, and you're hoping to coalesce all that energy and give it vision and direction. Where do you see Pay It Forward going?
In a more not parallel path, but like you just said, it more of a conversional. You know what I'm saying? More of just kind of some point in the near future, maybe months down the road or a year down the road, all kind of coming together. With this movement, with like every movement, there's still a lot of ego involved. There's still a lot of people that want their idea to be the reason change is made. And I'm sure there's quite a few people that look at what I'm doing and say, this kid's full of shit. He's nothing but ego, and he wants to make sure he's the reason that the world changes. That's what they think. That's fine. There's Pay It Forward Day. There's Pay It Forward Experience. There's Pay It Forward Foundation. There's Pay It Forward Bracelet. There's Pay It Forward food drives. There's Pay It Forward T-shirts. There's so many Facebook groups and Twitter groups and all this, and actions speak louder than words. And I have seen my fair share of people who claim they're doing this for the right reason, and they start speaking differently or making different things, or they start posting different things, or they start selling something, or you just can't lie about it. And I think the reason we've got so much momentum with what we're doing, I believe more momentum than it's ever had since the movie and the book, or even more than that, is because people are sitting back waiting for us to trip up, say something wrong, sell a book, or do this, and they're watching us day in and day out and realizing that we are doing this for the right reason. And unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, a lot of people want a face to a name. A lot of people want someone to look to for what's going on, who they can talk to, who they can get an email from, who's behind Twitter, who's behind this. And right now, it's me. It's the foundation. It's our board. And I just believe that at some point in the future, we will never tell you will never hear me say anything to any other Facebook group or Pay It Forward or anything anyone's doing Pay It Forward and say, don't do that, or you need to do this, or you need to use our logo, or you need to use this, or use this verbiage. Even if I don't agree with what they're doing with Pay It Forward, that's their thing. You'll never see me stop it. You'll never try to see me to do anything in a negative fashion. I'm hoping in the future that they will realize or see what we're doing and choose, completely their choice, choose to join forces with us. So at some point in the future, we are an absolutely unstoppable force that people cannot ignore. And I believe that's going to happen. I've seen it happen in the past 6 months.
What would the world look like if every single person believed that the way they treated one another was just the way that you lived your life? What do you think the world would look like?
I think it would look the exact same that it is now, just with happier people. I don't think it would be just this crazy transformation. I don't think anything in our world has ever been a crazy transformation. There's simply too many people, too much things going on. I just think it would be just a shift in mindset. You would make better decisions. You would not lose your mind when someone cut you off. You would not, you wouldn't hate your in-laws anymore that everyone talks about. You wouldn't hate your coworkers. You wouldn't be mad at the Verizon customer service girl that had nothing to do with you dropping your phone, but because she can't get you your phone in a day, you're going to freak out and yell at her. I think little things like that would go away. And I think those little things would lead to bigger things, and those bigger things would lead to a more peaceful planet. And again, that's probably where I lose a lot of people. I believe this movement can be involved by 7 billion people, whether you have money, whether you don't. This can be something that someone can go out, make someone smile, be a part of, help someone be their day, make their day better. And I believe this movement can lead from small to not so small, to medium, to not so medium, to bigger, to the point where it helps with less war or less conflict. I believe that the major problems we have in our world right now start with the simplest of things. And I believe the most, like Dr. Seuss says, sometimes the questions are complex, but the answers are simple. I think simplicity is what this world needs. And I think simplicity will solve some major, major problems. But right now, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just simply hoping that we can get people to be nicer, and they can be in a better mindset, and they can make better decisions and create better habits, and then we can move on to something else. We can move on to bigger problems. But I think if we can get people shifting at their core, that the person who's going to solve the cure for cancer solves it. I think that person who wants to donate time to the homeless shelter but hasn't had time, I think they donate time now. I think that person who wants to give $5 to the Ronald McDonald House but said they couldn't afford it, I think if a stranger comes up, does something out of the kindness of their heart and gives that person hope, they donate. I think this movement embodies everything good. And I think this movement can be the reason that everyone who's sitting on the fence that wants to do good for the world or claims that someday they're going to do something, I believe this movement can make someday be today. And imagine if millions more people woke up today or tomorrow and someday was that day. They're going to go down and build an orphanage. They're going to go help. They're going to be nicer to the family. They're going to treat their neighbor better. They're going to go down and volunteer at the homeless shelter. They're going to figure out something for the water crisis. They're going to help the economy. I believe this movement can nudge people off that fence to the other side and make them realize it's not going to be the government. It's not going to be the wealthy. It's not going to be corporations. All of them together do not have the resources to fix our problems. We need 7 billion people to step up, and then we will have the resources to get rid of some of our worst problems.
Well, Charley, I really appreciate you giving us this time.
This is the first time I've done something like this with a radio interview where it's like a panel. So I was excited for it because there's so many different opinions and there's different things we can talk about, and that's what we need. We need discussion, and we need people to just listen to different points of view and be okay with it. So I like this format. I really do.
Well, thank you for being a part of it. And as Leanne suggested, after your trip, it would be great to have you back on and share your experiences. It would be neat to see what has developed here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania since Pay It Forward Day at that point, and see where we are then.
Yeah, I would love to be back on, and like she said, it'd be curious. I'm also curious to see how they're going to accept it or not accept it. It'll be interesting to see, what they think.
And so, for anyone else who maybe didn't catch the earlier part of the program, where can people go to get more information about Pay It Forward?
PIF, as in Pay It Forward, so PIFexperience.org. That has everything. That has the flash mob. It has details of the Europe, the bracelets, the Pay It Forward Day. It's just a good congregation of everything Pay It Forward.
Wonderful. Charley, I can't say it enough. I really appreciate you being a part of this. I feel like we had a connection immediately as we talked on the phone, and I hope to continue that in the future.
We spoke more on the phone we did in this interview, so
yep,
yeah, I appreciate it.
All right. Well, have a safe journey, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
See you.
Good night.
Bye.